Kalanik's closeness to politicians and lawmakers is not a new tactic for tech companies. Dennis-Kenji Kipker is a professor of IT security law and says some lawmakers can be pretty easy to influence.
It has always been known that big tech corporations regularly pursue a highly aggressive business policy and that the company's profit takes precedence over any other values. And we are not just talking about unethical and morally highly questionable behavior here, but obvious breaches of the law that are subject to criminal and civil prosecution. And however, politicians and decision makers are also partly to blame for the whole debacle, as they are obviously not in a position to decide objectively, but allow themselves to be influenced by such corporations and their financial advantages. And this is most unfortunate that political representatives in the United States and the European Union manifestly and obviously have such a low level of personal integrity that they are so easily influenced and then deny such an influence. And this undermines trust in governments.
Sure, Uber has since cut ties with executives like Kalanik, and it insists its unethical practices are a thing of the past. But Dennis-Kenji Kipker says corrupt business practices ingrained in company culture are unlikely to change overnight.
Of course, Uber had to publicly distance itself from such business practices in order to at least create the appearance of lawful behavior. But the fact is that in the past, Uber has not only flouted laws and engaged in reckless business practices with the sole aim of market expansion, but also has aggressively and unlawfully attempted to influence social decision makers as well as politicians. And despite all claims to the contrary, it will certainly not be possible to assume that Uber will now change its business practices from one day to the next.